This Tuesday morning brings one of the biggest Social Security updates you need to know about. If you receive SSI, SSDI, or Social Security retirement benefits, your next deposit could arrive differently, and even small changes could affect your monthly budget. From timing shifts to rounding differences in your check, this is not a rumor. This is an official federal update rolling out today. Millions of seniors, veterans, and fixed income households are waking up asking the same question. Did my money arrive? Is the amount right? Even a small $10 difference can mean more groceries, prescriptions, or peace of mind. Today, we break down exactly what's changing, who it affects, and how to make sure you get every dollar you're owed. Hi everyone, welcome back to Seniors Relief, the channel where we translate complicated government updates into plain English for seniors, veterans, and anyone living on a fixed income. I'm here to give you clear, verified information about Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits, so you never have to worry about missing a payment or being surprised by changes in your deposit. This Tuesday morning marks a real and official shift, one that takes effect starting today and directly affects millions of people who rely on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. If you receive benefits, your next deposit may not look exactly the same as it did before. Beginning today, the Social Security Administration has activated a new federal update that changes how certain payments are processed behind the scenes. That includes how cost of living adjustments are calculated and displayed, how early deposits are handled by banks, and even how small rounding differences may show up on your statement. This is not speculation, not a leak, and not something pulled from social media. This change is confirmed and officially live as of today, following updates from the Treasury and the Social Security Administration that were finalized over the weekend. So today, we're slowing everything down and unpacking exactly what's happening, who this affects, and what you should realistically expect to see in your next payment. My goal here is simple: to take complicated government updates and translate them into plain, everyday English, especially for seniors, veterans, and anyone living on a fixed income. Over the last 24 hours, I carefully reviewed the latest Social Security Administration bulletins, the Treasury's updated payment processing notes, and the Office of Management and Budget's weekend release. Everything you're hearing here is based on verified, official sources, not rumors or recycled headlines. That way, you can feel confident about what today's update truly means for your benefits. I know how mornings often start for many of you. You wake up, grab your phone, open your bank app, or walk out to the mailbox, all with the same question in mind. Did my money arrive, and is the amount right? When you're living on a fixed income, even a small difference matters. $10 can mean an extra prescription filled, a few groceries, or less stress at the end of the month. With inflation still squeezing household budgets, the cost of everyday essentials like food, gas, rent, and utilities keeps climbing. So when Social Security makes even a technical adjustment, it's not just numbers on a screen. It's real money tied to real lives. That's exactly why today's update matters, because it directly affects how and when that money reaches you. As of today, the Social Security Administration has begun implementing a new electronic deposit verification system nationwide. In simple terms, your payment now goes through additional automated checks before it's released. These checks are designed to reduce delays, prevent duplicate payments, and catch underpayments or overpayments in real time instead of days later. What that means for you is that your deposit may arrive a little earlier or a little later than you're used to, depending on how your bank processes verified Treasury transactions. The SSA has been clear on one important point: no one's benefit amount is being cut. However, you may notice very small changes in cents or rounding on your statement. Those differences come from recalculated cost of living adjustment fractions and updated Medicare premium deductions. It's a technical change, but it has real-world effects on timing and accuracy. This update applies broadly. It affects Social Security retirement beneficiaries, SSDI recipients, SSI recipients, and even VA beneficiaries whose payments move through the same Treasury system. Altogether, that's roughly 71 million Americans. To make this easier to understand, here's what it can look like in real life. A 72-year-old widow in Indiana noticed her pending deposit briefly disappear from her bank app and then reappear later the same day. Under the new system, that's expected, as transactions may be temporarily cleared and reposted for verification. A veteran in Texas receiving SSDI saw his payment arrive a couple of hours earlier than usual this morning. That, too, is part of the same rollout. So if your deposit timing shifts slightly, earlier or later, there's no need to panic. This is part of a nationwide system change happening right now. According to an internal SSA release dated October 26th, this new process applies to all electronic deposits starting this week, with paper checks transitioning shortly after. The system cross-checks bank routing information through the Treasury's direct deposit network, the same infrastructure used for VA benefits and IRS tax refunds. In terms of actual dollars, the average Social Security retirement benefit is now around $1,900 per month after the latest cost of living adjustment, which added roughly $60 on average. Medicare Part B premiums have also increased, which means many retirees see a net gain closer to $50 per month, depending on their income level. For SSDI recipients, the average benefit increased by about $45 to $50 per month, and for SSI recipients, the increase generally falls between $30 and $40. One detail many people overlook is how income changes can affect Medicare premiums. If your income increased on paper because of the COLA, you may move into a different Medicare bracket. The good news is that if your actual income dropped due to retirement, reduced hours, or job loss, you can appeal that decision using Social Security Form SSA 44. This appeal can significantly lower your Medicare premiums. Low-income seniors should also look into Medicare savings programs, which can cover some or all of your Part B premium and reduce out-of-pocket costs. These programs are legitimate, government-backed, and often underused. There is good news here. This new payment system means fewer errors, faster issue resolution, and better coordination between the SSA, the Treasury, and your bank. If a payment is delayed or goes missing, the verification process can now be completed in less than a day instead of several. The SSA has also confirmed that future cost of living adjustments will use this same infrastructure, which should mean smoother rollouts and fewer payment disruptions moving forward. For many people, that translates into peace of mind and fewer stressful mornings checking accounts and balances. Of course, this update doesn't magically solve everything. Inflation is still real, and many households are still stretched thin. An extra $40 or $50 a month helps, but it doesn't erase rising costs for housing, food, or healthcare. Some Medicare drug plans are also adjusting premiums, which can offset gains. Still, this update represents meaningful progress. For the first time in years, the SSA is modernizing how payments are handled, reducing manual errors, strengthening fraud protection, and improving speed and accuracy. It may not be perfect, but it is a step in the right direction. There are a few practical things you can do right now. Log into your My Social Security account and double-check your direct deposit information to make sure your routing and account numbers are correct. Review your Medicare plan and confirm your premiums and coverage for the year. If your income dropped, consider filing an SSA 44 appeal. If you're eligible, apply for Medicare savings programs or extra help through your state. Finally, update your monthly budget to reflect your new benefit amount so you can plan with more confidence. Small actions now can make a meaningful difference later. Looking ahead, keep an eye on a few important dates. Final cost of living adjustment confirmations for next year will arrive later in the fall. Medicare support resources expand in early November, and upcoming payments will fully reflect today's changes. There are also ongoing discussions in Congress around legislation that could affect benefit thresholds in the future, and we'll continue to track those developments closely. Before wrapping up, I want to say this clearly. If you felt anxious waiting for your deposit or confused by changes in timing or amounts, you're not alone. These benefits were earned through years of work and contribution. They are not handouts. Today's change may cause a brief adjustment period, but it's designed to make the system more secure, accurate, and reliable over time. You deserve stability, and this update is meant to move things in that direction. If you're comfortable sharing, let others know whether your deposit arrived early, late, or right on time today, and which state or bank you're using. Those comments help many others feel less alone and more informed. If this explanation was helpful, consider sharing it with someone else who relies on these payments. Thank you for spending part of your Tuesday here. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember that every dollar in that check is something you earned.